Hello friends, I am Dr. Madhukar Jadhav. In previous lecture, we have seen the angular method for setting out circular curve. In that, we have seen Rankine's method of deflection angle or Rankine's method of tangential angle for setting out circular curve. So that curve is set out with the help of theodolite and chain or tape. In this lecture, we are going to study regarding transition curve. In that, introduction of transition curve, object of providing transition curve, and requirement of ideal transition curve. So starting with introduction, a curve of varying radius is known as transition curve. The radius of such curve varies from infinity to a certain fixed value. A transition curve is provided on both ends of the circular curve. The transition curve is also called as spiral or easement curve. So in short, transition curve is a curve which is provided in the beginning of the circular curve and at the end of the circular curve depending upon the topography prevailed in that area. Okay. Next slide please. So this is a sketch of transition curve. So here between point D to F there is a circular curve. Then from D to T1 there is a transition curve, and from F to T2 there is a transition curve. So in between circular curve we are providing the transition curve in the beginning and at the end of the circular curve. Now see, in case of transition curve, the radius of circular curve is say r. So this radius r, and for certain length of transition curve the same radius is kept, and after that this radius goes on increasing, and finally at T1 the radius is infinity, and the same is the case to this transition curve also. Radius is increasing and here it is infinite radius. Next one, object of providing transition curve. To gradually introduce the centrifugal force between the tangent point and the beginning of the circular curve, thereby avoiding sudden jerk on the vehicle. As we know, when the vehicle is traveling on curves, the centrifugal force is acting on that vehicle. So to gradually introduce this centrifugal force on the vehicle, we have to provide the transition curve in the beginning of circular curve. If there is no transition curve, then there may be chances of jerk to the vehicle without transition curve. Next one, to increase the comfort to the passenger. So by providing the transition curve, we are increasing the comfort to the passengers traveling to the vehicles. Next one, to introduce designed super elevation at a desired rate. So on the curve we have to always provide super elevation, and whatever the designed super elevation that we have to introduce depending upon the design value. Next one, to enable the driver to turn the steering gradually for his own comfort and the security. So by providing the transition curve in the beginning of the circular curve, the driver can easily rotate, or we can say turn the steering, and hence there is a comfort and security to the vehicle and to the driver also. Next one, to introduce designed extra widening at a desired rate. So generally on curve we are increasing the width of the road. At the curve we are increasing the width of the road, and so by introducing the transition curve, whatever the extra widening which we have provided, so that rate can be within the desirable rate by providing the transition curve in the beginning and end of the circular curve. Next one, to enhance the aesthetic appearance to the road. So by providing the we can say transition curve on both ends of circular curve, there is a aesthetic appearance to that particular road. Next one, to fit the road alignment in a given alignment. So by providing the transition curve in the beginning and at the end of the circular curve, the proper alignment of the road which is given can be achieved. Next one, to minimize the effects of centrifugal force, the speed of the vehicle should be gradually reduced, or a path should be negotiated with the gradual change of trajectory, so that the radius of curvature is gradually reduced from infinity to r, or to get the combined effect of both. So generally, by providing the transition curve, whatever the centrifugal force which is acting on the vehicle, that we are minimizing, and for that the vehicle has to take such a trajectory that the radius of curvature is gradually reduced from infinity to a r, and this can be achieved by providing the transition curve. Next slide please. Requirement of ideal transition curve. So by providing the transition curve, or it should meet the original straight tangentiality of the curve. As we know, whatever the first tangent and the second tangent to the curve are there, they are tangent at point T1 and at point T2 to the curve. So by providing the transition curve, whatever the originality is there, it should be properly maintained. Next one, it should meet the circular curve tangentially. Next one, its radius at the junction with the circular curve should be the same as that of the circular curve. So for certain length of the transition curve, the radius should be same as that of the circular curve, and similarly at the end also, where the circular curve is ending, at that point the radius of transition curve should be the same as that of the circular curve. Next one, the rate of change of curvature along the transition curve should be same as that of increase of superelevation. So we are increasing the superelevation at a certain rate. So in the same way, whatever the rate of curvature is there, that should be same as that of increase of superelevation on the curve. Next one, the length should be such that the full superelevation is attained at the junction with the circular curve. So whatever the superelevation which we are providing, that is increasing the height of road to the outside of the road than the inner side. So that is nothing but the superelevation. So the length of the superelevation provided should be attained at the junction where the transition curve meets with the circular curve. Next one, the different types of transition curve. So first type is called as cubic parabola. Second one is cathoid, or also called as spiral. Next one or third one is the Lemniscate curve. So these three curves we have previously studied in the introductory part of the curve chapter. Now out of these three curves, the first curve is used on railways, because on railway the length of curve is more. So generally cubic parabolic curve are provided on railways. Then third one, that is Lemniscate curves, are used on highways on plain area, while the second curve, that is cathoid or spiral curve, is provided to ascend the hills or the roads which are provided to climb the hills in the hilly area. So this is about the transition curve, the requirements of transition curve, and the different types of transition curve. So this is all about in this lecture. Thank you.